If I'd taken a photo of myself every day of my life, I could put them all together, flick through them, and literally watch myself grow old. Second thoughts. The technical term for this is time-lapse, condensing a long period of time into just a few seconds. You can use it to watch the subtleties of nature or even marvel at the wonders of modern engineering. But imagine what it would be like if you could look at a time-lapse that covered 500,000 years. That national treasure is at the Narracourt Caves fossil mammal site in South Australia. Right here, I'm crouching on a 5,000-tonne pile of dirt, which stretches for about 60 metres along through the caves here. Now, of all the piles of dirt in Australia, it's the only one on the World Heritage List. And that's because it's basically a gigantic one-stop bone supermarket. Fossils are us, and nobody knew it was here until about 40 years ago. To Rule 8, you couldn't pick the ball up directly off the ground. And Rule 7, defenders were allowed to trip the man in possession. One less thing for the tribunal to deal with, I suppose.
The Wild West. Perth, where mavericks carve out a place in the sun. A frontier town built on mining and minerals.
But today's millionaires aren't the first Western Australians to carve their futures from the earth. The first time that happened was almost 160 years ago, just a little way down the road from here.
That national treasure is perched high on a hill overlooking Fremantle. The national treasure they left behind is on West Wallaby Island, just off Geraldton in Western Australia.
This ruin of a primitive fort, which is on the National Heritage List, is the oldest structure ever built by Europeans in Australia. Ask any Melbourne copper what Alphonse Gadgetano, Carl Williams and Andrew Benjamin have in common, and they'll tell you a vicious gangland war based in Carlton that scandalised Melbourne in the late 90s. Ask your average TV viewer and they'll say they were all part of the hit drama series Underbelly. Big ratings may have turned a bunch of murderous thugs and their wives into overnight celebrities, but I'm guessing that in 100 years' time, none of them will be solid gold Aussie icons. When it comes to heroic criminals, no one comes within cooey of Australia's very own Man in the Iron Mask. His national treasure is in the State Library of Victoria in Melbourne.
60 kilometres southeast of Katherine in the Northern Territory.
This is Waddy Creek, which belongs to the local Gurindji people. It's a place that became part of Australia's modern folklore when a Prime Minister came to visit.